Oh, I seem to have found myself underneath a very aesthetic tree.
Are you done with your pan of chocolate?
Yeah.
How good is that onion tart thing?
Why don't we put that on top?
Yeah. I do like French patisserie. I think when we go to Paris, this is what I'll be consuming every day.
For those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are subscribers, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my first initial thoughts for the Insta360 Lunar Ultra. I've had it for about 48 hours and I'm just testing out some of the functionality, some of the features, letting you know what I like about it and what I think could be improved. So stick around. So the reason why I've purchased this is because I'll be traveling soon and I wanted a lightweight setup. And I've previously had an Osmo Pocket 3 and that was great because it was such a small setup similar to this one. But the main thing was that it only had a wide angle lens, so only a 20mm. So it goes through a few different focal lengths. You've got the 1x, which is the 20, the 2x, which is the 40, the 3x, which is the telephoto, which is the 60. Then you've got, it bumps up to the 6x, which is 120 lossless. Then the 12x, which is 240mm. The other feature that sold me was the fact that it comes with iLog. And iLog, for those of you who do color editing, it's the log footage. And when you have multiple cameras that have log footage, it's then easier in post to actually match those clips and they look a lot more consistent. So you get a more flatter profile, but the thing is then it's much easier to grade in post. The other things that I really enjoy about this camera is, one moment, this detachable screen. Let me move back in frame. And as you can hear, it also has an onboard microphone. So it's not bad for scratch audio. So what do you think? How does it sound? Obviously it's much closer. I've got the Mic Pro just here. If I put them right next to each other, what's the sound? It's actually quite windy right now. So the Mic Pro will definitely be cutting out a lot of that wind. What's this onboard detachable mic sounding like as well? The other benefit that you've got with a little camera like this is the gimbal movement. So the fact that you've got stabilized footage rather than carrying a massive gimbal and then attaching your mirrorless camera, obviously in a small form factor, that's so nice. The other feature that I really like is if I press this little red button, not the record button, the directional button, is deep tracking. Here we go. So now it's tracking me, and if I move around, it's following me, which is a really, really nice feature. You can get yourself a nice little hero shot. The other cool thing is there's this little button on the left-hand side, and it allows me to frame myself in essentially 9 points in the frame. And so I'm just gonna put myself in this corner here. And now it's framing me just in that corner. And even if I move around, it's going to keep me in that frame. So if you want a bit of a creative shot and you don't necessarily want yourself in the middle or you want to position yourself somewhere else, this is a really, really great function. The other thing that I've enjoyed is this Mic Pro. So I've got it clipped on right now. It's 32-bit float, it's got internal recording. I haven't actually got it synced up to the camera, I do it in post, and I believe that's how you actually enable the 32-bit float recording. I'm not sure if it has 32-bit float if you've got it connected to the camera. There are some things that I think that Insta360 need to fix up. So right now, exposure metering is one thing that is really hard to do right now. Apart from looking at this little LED screen, There's not really a way to be able to tell whether you're over or underexposed. There's no value. So on the Osmo Pocket 3, even when I bought that in 2023, it would give you a EV meter. If we connect, this is the only other way that you can check that you've got the correct metering. So if you go like this, you can see that you've got your histogram right there. But apart from that, there is no histogram. One thing I would really like Insta360 to do is to provide a gamma display assist function. Essentially what that is you attach a LUT on top of the screen. So it's just an overlay. It doesn't actually bake in, but that gives you that Rec 709 look in the screen. And that helps you to be able to tell whether you're over or underexposed. So if that was combined with the exposure metering, I think then you'd be able to tell kind of what ballpark you're in terms of exposure. And lastly, and this is just my initial thoughts, is an auto ISO readout. If I go into the auto ISO, it doesn't tell me, it will just make those decisions. It doesn't change the number. It just tells me that it will maximum go to 800 and I can do an exposure value compensation, but I have no idea what number the ISO is currently at. So apart from setting it manually like that, I'm not really sure. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So I have had a lot of fun with this camera in the first 48 hours. I think the potential is really high. It's an incredibly innovative camera. I mean, the fact that I've got this detachable screen, it has a microphone. I'm able to do all this in such a small package is a really nice feature.
That's what she said.
So the potential is high. I think that we are not at the limits of what this camera can do, and I think that's going to be unlocked with future firmware updates. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you considering purchasing one? Are there any questions that you have? I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.